Hey y'all, doing a little turboprop United action today. um, Fly on Pilotedge. Another benefit to Pilotedge is I'll show you this. Where's it at? The biggest problem with VetSim is you don't have guaranteed ATC unless they have like an event or something in the evenings or weekends. So you kind of like have to pick your ATC guaranteed hours. And the level of competency on VetSim varies depending upon where you fly and the type of training that they offer there. Volunteer air traffic controllers, there's definitely a place for it, but I prefer to have top quality and guaranteed 7 days a week. It's guaranteed. Pretty much the western part of the country. These are all towered airports, guaranteed top to bottom ATC coverage. Unlike VetSim, where our flight from Portland to Seattle, there's absolutely no ATC on except for Portland ground. So we could get our clearance on VATSIM, we could get our ground clearance to taxi, but as for takeoff clearance, talking to departure and center, non-existent. So all these people that are flying online, like this guy and this guy, they're not under any type of radar services. So this guy is traveling at, let me pick a different guy, this United guy, right? He is traveling, well, currently 5,500, so maybe he is VFR. Let me see. How about the Delta guy? Here he is, 30,000 feet. So he's in Class Alpha airspace, which by law requires you be under radar services, under ATC. So all these guys that say they have all this time and experience flying online, they don't actually have any experience because there's no one controlling them. They're not having to talk to anyone. There's no check-ins when they cross the ARTTC lines. They don't check in with the Seattle Center or anything like that. So they're not talking to anyone. So all these guys that have all these hours don't really have any real experience. Now, guys that fly Pilotedge, they're always having to talk to someone. So, like I said, I'm not knocking VATSIM. I do fly VATSIM, but only when there's ATC available. So right now, the entire country looks like Boston is online and whatever these guys are. Looks like Dallas, Fort Worth. So you could talk to ATC guys here, and you also have like San Diego approach. So you could get top to bottom. But once you go to outside this approach, you have no one. Whereas with Pilotedge, you're guaranteed ATC in all this area. So that's why I fly on Pilotedge, as you will see. So we're going to be here at Portland because, as you can tell, Portland is a towered Class C airport in the Pilotedge Western Expansion Pack, which covers all these airports. And we're going to fly into Seattle. We're doing the Dash 8. We're going to file the Portland 2, join the Hawk 7 arrival from Craig. Altimeter is 3006. And they're taking off 10 left. Information, Quebec. Looks like VATSIM is online at Portland, but like I said, it's just ground control. So it's just basically taxi information, suggested runway, so they can't even give you takeoff or landing clearances. So in the ATIS, they give you a suggestion, but they can't order it because they're only ground controls online. These guys will handle everything. So that's why I prefer Pilotedge for my at least daytime flying. And most weekends during the day as well. They're very good. They're busy on Saturdays if you want a lot more traffic. Download that. Come here. And we'll file this flight plan. Portland, Seattle, 16000, DH8D. Alright, flight plans on files. We filed the IFR. Expect 10 left at Echo. And if we take off, we'll do a 103. And if they give us a heading, we can't turn until we're above 500 feet. If we take off 28 right, we can't turn until above 800 feet. So that's the only thing we have to know about is runway heading until either 800 or 500, then we can turn toward their instructed heading. And then we'll go Kuga, direct Craig to join the arrival. So that'll be at 270 knots at Hawk. And then Seattle is landing south typically, so we'll abide by these restrictions. So between these two at this speed, above 8,000 at this speed, at 6,000 at this speed. So a line above and below means at, below means you got to be above it. If there was a line above this 8,000 and not below, that means you have to be below 8,000. So the line tells you where to be. As well as the speeds. And we're going to plan a full RMP approach from Bashan. So the last waypoint of the stars, first waypoint of the approach, which is 16 center Zulu, RNAV Zulu 16 center, I mean. IF intermediate fix. Minimums for this is probably like 400, yeah. 400 radar, 758 MSL. We'll land here and we'll park here at the -8 ramp. There's no real clouds to speak of. No. A little bit at Seattle. There's no weather, no turbulence, no clouds, tiny bit of ice, but it's it'd be above us. We won't even be affected by that ice. We have one flight in bid. So, all good to go. Alright, let's get this thing powered up. Alright, we're going to do 72, about 1400. Cargo's fine. Airtime, according to SimBrief. $33. Fuel's 38.07. Actually, I don't like that fuel. That doesn't seem like enough fuel. Let me add in a, let me see, add an alternate. Doing this on my laptop, so I don't have to bore you with this. We'll just say back to Portland if necessary. $51.36. That's good. Start the boarding process here. And to me, FlyJsim is more of like a social environment for flying online with other people and having lots of traffic and in some cases mediocre ATC. But you know, during events, they usually have their top guys doing ATC, especially with anywhere that they're flying or they're controlling like approach and above centers. They're usually like really good because they do have a training syllabus they have to pass to even get to that limit. So those guys are good. But you can get all types of experience levels underneath approach. So Pilotedge is where it's at if you want to simulate a as close to real world experience as you possibly can, which is what I enjoy. So. All right, I was looking at the wrong checklist. I was like, none of this makes sense. All right, spoilers to taxi. Anti-skid on. DC power is good. Get some sunlight up in here. Get our little mascot. Put her right there. Alright, so Portland's GPS on SkyVector is 4535. 122.35, so that's right. Nav data is good to 12 July 23. Accept and accept. APU pump is on. We'll start the APU. Click generator. Bleed air circulation so we can get some air going in the cabin. Alright, ATIS is 128.35.
In use. Simultaneous approaches to parallel runways in use. VFR departures, contact clearance, delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Notice to airmen runway 321 closed. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact, you have information back. Portland International Airport. ATIS information, Quebec. 1853 Zulu. Wind variable at 4. Visibility 10. Sky condition, clear. Temperature 24. Dew point 13. Altimeter 3006. Arriving and departing runways 10 left, 10 right. Visual approaches in use. Simultaneous approaches to parallel runways in use. VFR departures, contact clearance, delivery.
Alright, clearance is, that's the thing about Pilotedge is you use frequencies that are on the charts, whereas on FlyJsim you have to use top down. So if there's only a center line, you got to use whatever frequency he's connected to call for your clearance. Whereas on Pilotedge, that's the other realistic thing about it. You go to like your airport here. Clearance is 120.125. Pop up the clearance, 120.125. Ground is 0.9er, so I'll get that on there ready. I'm using a CTEC radio panel. Hardware, so it doesn't show up in standby, only when I flip it over, so you see there. So we got clearance, we'll get our clearance, and we'll do ground, and then towers depending upon runway, so whatever the chart shows, and these are frequencies used in the real world, so that's why I like it. Whatever's on the charts, what you use, at least for tower and under. They'll assign sometimes the departure frequency. If they don't assign you a departure frequency, then you look at the chart to see what frequency is published, and in that case you use what is published if they don't actually assign you a frequency. FlyJsim seems to assign you the even published frequencies all the time. So alright, let me see. 18.7 will be our tower frequency for that. Alright, we're going to call up and request our clearance. You'll notice I will not say request IFR to Seattle as filed, because that's improper. You don't want to make that request in that fashion, because it almost sounds like you're giving an order to the air traffic controller that you are demanding he give you an IFR route clearance as you filed it, and they can't always do it as you file it. So it's kind of like it's improper. It's a waste of airspace, air traffic. So just request the IFR to your destination, and they know what you filed because you filed it. If you file an IFR flight plan, they have the strip. They know exactly what you filed, and if they give it to you, they will. So it's kind of like a negotiation. So don't ever say as filed when you call up your clearance and delivery, because you might not always get it. So most of the time you will, but not always, and you can't demand it. So if you want to go your own way, then I suggest you fly VFR maybe with flight following, and then you don't have to worry about it unless you're in controlled airspace. But we're doing IFR, so we got to do what the man says. All right, we're with Quebec. Afternoon, Portland clearance, United 1399 at the terminal with Quebec. Request IFR to Seattle.
United 1399, Portland clearance, clear to Seattle Airport, Portland to departure, radar vectors Cougar, then it's filed. Maintain 6,000, expect 6000 within 5 minutes. Departure 124.35, squawk 3053.
Clear to Seattle via Portland to departure. Radar vectors Cougar, then it's filed. Maintain 6,000, expect 16,000 in 5 minutes. Departure 124.35, squawk 3053. United 1399.
United 1399, read back correct.
All right, now we can monitor ground because we're done with clearance. I'm going to get 18.7 on the standby on my SafeTech radio panel for tower for 10 left. Departure, we'll check with ATIS before we taxi though to make sure, or actually before I push, so I know which way to push. Let me grab my web FMC on my iPad. Come down here. We're going to do flight plan. I'm going to highlight Portland. I'm going to do menu, departure. 10 left is 2. Doing the Portland 2 out of here, so that's 5. And there's none of that. So flight plan. So 500, like the chart says, above 500 feet, then you go onto your assigned heading. So you got to first climb to 500. So that is accurate as per the SID. Then we're going to go direct Cougar. And then Seattle. Menu. Arrive. Runway 16 center, which is 1. The star is Hawk 7, so 3. From Craig, 2. And the approach is Arnav Zulu, so number 3. And we're going to start the approach from Vashon, which is number 4. We're going to add it to the flight plan. And then we're going to delete that link. And I want to make sure that we connect our full approach. So we'll get rid of this Vashon, the vector, and the no link. So now we have a full approach. Including the missed approach procedure. And we're only going up to 16,000, so we can delete that. Plus 1,500 at Pikes. That's fine. Menu, next, flight number. Flight plan wind. We're going to put in our average wind starting at Cougar. And that is where is it? 251 at 14. So that's an average wind across all the waypoints. And we're going to need fuel. So we've got 0 fuel 8, 53,906. 511, 59,016. And we're going to come over here and we're going to exfil from FMS1.
For 5348 Alpha, Denver Center on request, standby. River 48 Alpha, you filed a VFR altitude, invalid for direction of travel as well. For an IFR flight plan, verify your intention.
See, that's the thing with Pilotedge. If you do something wrong, they'll correct you. FlyJsim, they'll just tell you to do something different. They won't actually like correct you or tell you what you did wrong. So Pilotedge is, if you like black and white, Pilotedge is good for that.
Which is a VFR cruise altitude for westbound travel.
Yeah, he's probably doing like a plus 500. VFR is always even or odd plus 500, unless you're under 3,000.
VFR for eastbound travel. I'll be with you in just a minute. Stand by.
All right, so I need DH8D told, which is takeoff landing distance for our V speeds. So I need 0 fuel 8, 53,906. Return, and our takeoff fuel is 5104. It gives me 5910, so that's correct. So takeoff page. This is a free app for iPad that I'm doing this on. Portland, runway 10 left. Load METAR. Alright, so that gives me my V speeds. Alright. Well, that looks good. We were told to climb and maintain 6,000. In our initial heading to 500 is 103. Am I running off APU? Yeah. Disconnect the ground power unit. Could have done that a while ago, I guess. We'll call the pushback truck.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you're ready. Ground to cockpit. Toes driving up.
Guess we could do a U-turn. That's right. Bring up A-cars. We'll go ahead
Good
and
morning,
start
ladies and
that.
gentlemen, and welcome aboard. Please ensure that you fasten your seatbelt, return your seat back and folding trays to their full upright positions, and store your carry-on luggage in either the overhead bins or under the seat in front of you. If you're seated next to an emergency exit, please carefully read the special instructions located near that exit. If you do not wish to perform any of the
All doors and
functions
hatches
described
are closed, ready to connect.
please inform a crew member so you may be reseated. At this time, we request that all portable electronic
Do an
devices,
auto feather test
such as cell
here.
phones or
Do these
portable
checks.
computers, be either powered off or put into airplane mode, as these devices may cause interference.
Winching strap and adapter in position. Release parking brake when ready to start pushback.
When it is safe to continue the use of these devices. We remind you that smoking aboard this aircraft, as well as tampering with, disabling, or destroying lavatory smoke detectors, is prohibited by law. If you have any questions about our flight, please don't hesitate to ask a crew member.
We'll be looking for an all pass there in a moment.
Terrain.
And that check as well. There we go. All auto feather pass. Check our doors here. All doors are closed. $30.53. Squawk mode Charlie, or at least on. Elevation for Seattle is 433. Right there.
Starting pushback, you may start your engines.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the captain and crew, welcome aboard. Please make sure that your seat backs and trays are in their full upright position. Also, ensure that your seatbelt is correctly fastened. As well, any electronic equipment must be turned off. Thanks and have a great flight.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
230 Charlie, report inbound procedure turn.
Alright, we'll turn the APU off. We got these AC generator lights on, so we need to...
Tow is disconnected. Bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
increase our prop RPM to 900 mode to get rid of the AC light generator. And we'll check down here. Right now we're running off a battery until that kicks in. There we go. Good gen on both. Turn on the packs. Bus tie off. Check our flight controls, all good. Flaps 10. Do window heat. Nose wheel steering, which is right here. Turn that on. Do taxi light. Right there. Yaw damper. Alright, all that is good. Squawking about Charlie. 3053 is accurate. We'll get our ATIS.
13, altimeter 3006. Arriving and departing runways 10 left, 10 right. Visual approaches in use. Simultaneous approaches to parallel runways in use. VFR departures, contact clearance, delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Notice to airmen runway 321 closed. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Quebec.
Right, we're still with Quebec. So nothing's changed as far as altimeter or winds or anything like that. So all of our performance speeds are accurate.
Right. Visual approaches in use.
Just went
Simultaneous
to the
approaches
restroom
to
and
parallel
double check
runways
ATIS
in use.
here.
VFR departures, contact clearance, delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Notice to airmen runway 321 closed. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Quebec. Portland International Airport. ATIS information, Romeo. 1953 Zulu. Wind 290 at 5. Visibility 10. Few clouds at 3000. Temperature 27. Dew point 11. Altimeter 3005. Arriving and departing runways 10 left, 10 right. Visual approaches in use. Simultaneous approaches to parallel runways in use. VFR departures, contact clearance, delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Notice to airmen runway 321 closed. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Romeo.
Alright, now we're current with Romeo. Check my V speeds. All the temperature and everything, it's the same. V speeds are the same. Let's see if she gives us full length or intersection echo. Afternoon, Portland ground, United 1399, Echo Gates with the Romeo, ready to taxi.
1399 Portland ground, runway 10 left, taxi via Kilo Echo.
10 left via Kilo and Echo, United 1399. Suicide car, Mercedes. You own the road.
If I can get everyone's attention, we'll now review safety information regarding the flight today. You see the seatbelt sign illuminating. Let's fasten your seatbelt. Insert the metal fittings, one into the other, and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. You can release your seatbelt by lifting the upper portion of the buckle. It's preferred that you keep the seatbelt fastened throughout the flight. There are several emergency exits throughout the plane. Please take a moment to locate your closest exit. In some cases, your nearest exit might be behind you. If we need to evacuate the aircraft, lower level lights will guide you towards the available exit. Doors can be opened by moving the handle in the direction of the arrow. Each door is equipped with an inflatable slide which can be detached and used as flight ground. Oxygen and air pressure are always monitored throughout the flight. If decompression occurs, an oxygen mask will fall from the ceiling in front of you. To start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you and place it firmly over your mouth.
We're at sea level, so I don't have to do a PAX off. I'll just do PAX low for our takeoff. If you're at high altitude takeoffs, then you would want the PAX off, this on low, and then add PAX, and then take it off a low when you go into 900 mode.
Forward with your hands on top of your head and your elbows against your thighs, ensuring your feet are flat on the floor. Life vests are located in a pouch under your seat between the armrests. When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch and remove the vest. Flip it over your head and bring the straps around your waist. Adjust the straps at the front. Twist the waist back and pull firmly on the red cord to keep the aircraft.
Do PAX,
Blow into the mouth.
props full. Do auto feather on. Switch to tower frequency departure. It's 124. 35. Portland Tower, United 1399, home short 10 left at Echo.
United 1399 Portland Tower, after departure, flighting 060, runway 10 left at Echo, clear for takeoff.
By heading 060, 10 left at Echo, clear for takeoff, United 1399. Strobes. Takeoff config check normal. Zero 60, we'll do that when we get to 500 feet. And we'll do vertical speed here. 2000. Always give the intersection that you're taking off from if you're assigned an intersection. Don't ever taxi to an intersection expecting to take off from it unless you have already negotiated that. So you either will be assigned an intersection for departure or you can request one, but just don't taxi to one.
Terrain.
United 1399, contact departure.
Over to departure, United 1399, TM. Switch to Portland departure. We're going to climb to 500 feet here. Portland departure, United 1399, Portland 2, leaving 700 for 6,000.
United 1399, Portland departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 15,000.
Climb maintain 15,000, United 1399. Alright, gear is up. And flaps are up. Packs are on low. So we're going to turn off the auto feather now. Put our AC on regular there. Do noise reduction by putting our wipers up. Cuts down on the wind noise. Looks like we're gonna climb just above whoever that guy is.
United 1399, when able to proceed direct Cougar, contact Seattle Center 126.6.
Clear direct Cougar and Seattle Center 126.6, United 1399. To 6.6, and we are turning direct to Cougar. Seattle Center, United 1309, 7,400, climbing 15,000, direct Cougar.
United 1399, Seattle Center, Portland altimeter 3005, climb and maintain 16,000.
Climb maintain 16,000, 3005, United 1399. So we are direct to Cougar, so we're coming down here. We'll do direct to enter nav. Turn off our landing light, taxi lights, all that is fine. Open up our intakes. Cabin pressure is climbing, so we're good there.
Good.
There's no idiot lights.
Clear 4230 Charlie, air for cancellation received. Have a wonderful day.
Turn the seatbelts off. Altimeter is 3005. All that is correct. TCAS on normal. Some feet to go. And we're going to go ahead and pick up speed now that we're leveled out. Then we'll switch to 850 mode. I think Orbix Ortho looks a lot better in this part of the Pacific Northwest than Microsoft Flight Simulator does for their stock stuff. I think Orbix took the time and they did a whole bunch of color correction, so it just looks beautiful. This is X-Plane 11. It just looks better to me than MSFS, and I have both. So it's not like I'm judging it off a YouTube video. It's my own personal experience with how their stock ortho looks on MSFS. I mean, it's better than stock X-Plane, I'll give it that. Alright, we're definitely above 10,000, so we don't have to worry about a speed limit. Back this off into 850. Do some ECAN checks. Put that on flaps 15 for ground proximity warning, because we're going to land with flaps 15. 35 is only for a high angle, like dive. or extremely short runway. So normal landing flaps is 4 clicks down to flaps 15. We got 47 miles to our top of descent. So we'll be following this trek as long as we're landing south. And let me see what our en route weather shows. Our arrival,
Kilo Sierra Echo Alpha Airport information Kilo 195 Zulu weather wind 235 at 7 visibility 10 sky condition few clouds at 3,000 few clouds at 9,500 temperature 22 dew point 13 altimeter 3008 advise on initial contact you have information Kilo.
That's just the weather injector. It's not Pilotedge.
Kilo.
We'll check that soon.
United 1399, descend via Hawk 7 arrival, Seattle altimeter 3008, landing south.
Descend via the Hawk 7 arrival, south transition, 3008, United 1399. So you always got to give the transition. So in this case, it's south transition. If it was north transition, then ATC would know we're going this way. But I'm just advising that I understand we're going to go this way, which is the south transition. For runways, landing runways south, 16 left center right, we have center programmed. So the only speed that we have to really keep an eye out on is 270 at Hawks, and then we'll slow to 250 at Pike. And missed approach procedure, climb direct to Zivdi to cross at or below 2000, then climb to 5. So Zivdi is so it'd be 2000 until after Zivdi, and then up to 5000. And again, we got to check tower frequency because Pilotedge uses real world. So 19.9 is tower, and ground is 0.7. You only switch to ground if tower tells you to when you land. And you can switch a tower on your own when you're taking off, but you cannot switch the ground on your own, just because tower you might need crossing instruction or something. And then we will park right here. I will hit you back up when we start our descent. I'm going to pause it for now. And she told me to go to Seattle approach 125.6.
Altimeter 3008. Arriving and departing runways 16 center, 16 left, 16 right. Visual approach is in use. ILS runway 16 center, runway 16 left, and runway 16 right approach in use. Simultaneous approaches to parallel runways in use. Simultaneous approaches in use between Seattle and Boyd Field. Traffic below you on final. VFR departures contact clearance delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Yankee. Boyd.
Seattle approach United 1389. We'll be descending via the Hawk 7 south transition, currently at 16,000. And current with Yankee, request the Arnav Zulu 16 center approach from Vashon.
United 1399, Seattle approach, altimeter 3008, thanks for Yankee. Vashon, cleared Arnav, Yankee, runway 16 center approach.
3008 and at Vashon, cleared Arnav. If I said Yankee, I meant Zulu. Arnav Zulu 16 center approach, United 1309.
Right.
Pretty sure I said Zulu, but I don't remember, honestly. Alright, Pike is 250, so we're gonna slow down. I'll reset for 3008 here. Put our TCAS on below. Trying to hold the speed there. .250 at Breve, which is coming up. So we're at 250 right on the money. And we'll slow down to 230 at Neats. She cleared us to fly the approach. So right now we have this set for the lowest allowed on the star. So since we're cleared to fly the approach, we can take it down to final approach fix. Or point, or whatever that is, 1900. We'll just of course, with this, we bring it down to minimums, so I'm going to set it for 800. since we're cleared to fly this approach here into Seattle. Seatbelts back on. 10,000 feet. Turn on our landing lights. Set our beat speeds here, which is based off of our current weight. And flaps 15s, whatever you set here, just click with your mouse here. And icing would be 142, so we're gonna go between this. At least I like to go between it, so we'll say 132 will be our final approach speed. Slow down to 230 knots now. Do prop 900. Gotta be above 7,000 at Key West, which is right there. About 5 minutes to go, warning. And I'm guessing she's just gonna hand me off the tower and not a final approach controller in this case. So Seattle Tower is 19.9er and ground is 121.7. Get those on standby. Slow down to 210. Vashon. That guy's 5,000 feet below us, so there won't be any drones typically in Bravo airspace. We're inside Seattle's Bravo airspace right now, which is where they want IFR traffic. So most of the time you will be. Alright, we're 210 across Vashon, so now we don't have to worry about speed anymore. We just fly what we want speed-wise. We'll follow the glide path down to minimums. Turn on all the fuel pumps, hydraulics. reverse back down. One 64 is our final approach heading. So we'll set the heading there for that. Just a Space Needle, Seattle. That's why I love doing this approach. Takes you right over the city. And takes you over Boeing Field, and you can see Renton. And this looks freaking awesome at night. Shipyard. There's Boeing Field, and there's Seattle, and Renton is over here. That's Renton. Yeah, Boeing, Renton, Seattle. Alright, we're going to do packs to minimum. We're going to do full power on the prop there.
Edge 1899, contact Seattle Tower.
Over to Seattle Tower, United 13 and 19. So we do 19.9er. Seattle Tower, United 1399, RNAV 16 center approach.
United 1399, Seattle Tower, runway 16 center, clear to land.
16 center, clear to land, United 1399. Yeah, it's very important that you do set up on the right runway because they do parallel landings. So you got 3 runways. I don't know if they would land all 3 at the same time. You'd think they would want some sort of space between, but I guess it's possible. Not sure what they do in the real life. Alright, do 1 notch flaps. Gear down.
1000.
Flaps 3. Flaps 3 there. Making sure I don't get a runaway trim. Sometimes we'll run away, so if it does that, you just disconnect the autopilot. That way it won't move and you'll still have trim.
Five hundred. Terrain. 300. 200.
Terrain.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
A little balanced, but it's all right.
Head United 1399, park at the GA ramp off of Quebec.
Negative, it will be about mid-terminal off of Bravo there, United 1399.
United 1399, roger, cross runway 16 left at November, join Bravo to the gate and monitor ground. Have a wonderful day.
Cross 16 left at November, Bravo to parking and monitor ground, United 1309. Thanks, you too. So do 121.7. Okay, monitoring, we're gonna do Q here. Turn those off, turn those off, pitos off. Wasn't my best landing with this, but that's alright.
Disconnected.
Control lock. I think I did that, yeah. Transponder, flaps, auxiliary, yaw damper. Auxiliary. Turn that off. Spoiler. Did that. Actually, I'm gonna do a replay first. Static windshield. Power steering. Bus tie. Taxi light off. Passenger signs off. Anti-skid off. Bleed air and all that is off. Recert off. was a horrible landing, so I'm not even going to count that. I'm just going to cancel it out. And we'll delete it. It's okay. They only require 1 flight a month, and I do like 20. So, got to keep my average landing rate up. All right, make sure I'm offline. Which I am. Let's look at that horrible landing, shall we? That looks funny.
500.
Terrain, terrain.
I think I was too high and then overcompensated. That's what happens when you fly mostly airliners, your viewpoint is much higher. So I just sank. Connect, external. No kidding. It's a great plane. You can definitely land it a lot better than I did if you practice it. I don't fly this one, but maybe twice a month, if that. It's tricky because it's got that little narrow wing, so you got to keep your speed up. It's imperative you keep your speed up and a little bit of power when you're landing with this aircraft. But yeah, otherwise, I am okay with that. All right, if you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, share, and subscribe. Taking the train. We'll see you.